Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat and this is Catadactyl. So today I'm doing a very controversial unhaul. This is my "you're not good enough" haul. Yeah, being young adult. So, sorry. Generally, I don't mind young adult books. I just find that some of the cliches in them are not for me, or that some of the plots just have a lot of holes in them that I'm not sure why that was allowed to happen, and then they're never explained, or potentially I'm just old as fuck and I realize things that younger audiences wouldn't realize, so actually perhaps it's not to the correct audience anyway, so it's just my fault. Everything is my fault. So yeah, today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 YA books that I'm going to talk about. Now, by no means were these bad books. I will tell you that when I get to them. They just are not good enough for me to take to Australia with me. So, let's start. The first one is Invisibility by Andrea Kramer and David Levithan. Now, I had never heard of Andrea Kramer, but I've had heard of David Levithan as being a very amazing queer YA writer. So I wanted to give this one a go. I found it in a library bin in Australia, and this one is about a boy who is invisible to everyone from birth. So that is until the day when a single girl is able to see him. So the first half of this book was really good and I was totally there for it, and then like when the villain appeared, the plot holes just became like a very, very loose, baggy, holy sweater. Like, plot holes everywhere as far as the eye could see. And then I was like, I don't really like this book. So I raced through the first half, struggled through the last half, and then was like, I'm like lukewarm about it. I think I probably would read David Levithan again if I come across one of his books, but this is definitely not for me and I don't really recommend it. Sorry. Okay, next is Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. Is actually a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and the main character's name is Nyx, and I was so here for it. NYX. I was like, mwah, what a beautiful fantasy character name. I'm here for it. And granted, there were really beautiful, imaginative, amazing parts in this story. It was just something lacking overall. I don't know what it is, but when I read retellings, some of them have that special something and some of them just fall a little flat. So for me, this was like a soda without the carbonation. I wanted to love it so much. I also am in love with the cover. Like, whoever designed that, like, A+, good job, you're amazing. But I just wanted a little bit more from this story, and it did not give me that. So I'm going to go ahead and donate this to my husband's school's library, and some child will probably like it very much. So yeah, thank you very much. Next up is a book that did make me cry, but it didn't make me cry like as much as his other books have made me cry. Okay, wait, take 5 seconds and see if you can guess who I'm talking about. Every book he ever writes is queer and also makes you cry shit tons. I'm talking about Adam Silvera. So this is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. And it's about a boy who is dealing with the death of his ex-boyfriend. So, I found it overall very lukewarm. I don't know what it is, but something about this particular story just didn't gel with me that much. So I just had a very lukewarm reaction. So this Adam Silvera isn't for me. If you are looking for an Adam Silvera that will completely destroy you, try They Both Die at the End, which was just emotionally devastating. So yeah, this one not so much. The next one I'm going to talk about is so unfortunate because I really wanted to love this. I talked about this book for a very, such a long time. And it's Lifelike by Jay Kristoff. So, Jay Kristoff has an amazing writing style, and his brain is like one wacky doodle adventure after the next. Like, you just don't know what's gonna happen. So in this one we're following Eve, who builds robots that fight other robots, and one day her robot breaks down and doesn't work, and she owes people a lot of money. So she is fleeing and she's being chased, and she has a best friend named Lemon Fresh and also like a cyborg sidekick, and she spots like an AI in the garbage bin and saves him as well, and they're on this adventure. And it was written so quickly that I felt like a lot of parts didn't get their due exploration, if that makes sense. And while I did not see the ending coming, one of the endings coming, I was like, psh, mind blown. I was really mad at like a certain thing that he did. So yeah, like I don't know what you would say about that. Like when the ending that a book has is so contrary to what you thought or wanted to happen that you're just like, oh man, if it had only worked out that one way, I might have been like, this would have been an amazing book. But because it didn't, then I like thought about it so long that I saw all the plot holes and all the problems where things weren't developed correctly. So like retroactive de-starring, if that makes sense. Like it might have been a 4-star, but then like as it went on, I was like, I don't like that, I don't like that, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then like, but the end was just like 3 stars, like curses. Of course, like it's not a bad book at all. It has a lot of elements which I really love, like huge mecha leviathans in the ocean. What are we talking about right now? That was so cool. So yeah, this book is super awesome, and I think like maybe a younger audience wouldn't have had as many problems with the pacing and the plot that I had, but yeah, unfortunately I am dumb, so I will probably read the next book in this series just because, yeah, I don't know, I want to not read it, but I need to read it, so I don't know. This isn't coming with me, but if that synopsis sounds intriguing, check it out. And the next book up is one that I read because it is essentially following kind of the YA plotline of every like trilogy or quartet ever, and it's Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So I know a bunch of people like really either love this or they just think it's like formulaic, and for me, unfortunately, I found it formulaic. So I did not connect with this, and it's not coming with me to Australia, although I can appreciate the beauty of the cover and a lot of the elements were there for a really gripping trilogy or quartet. I just did not love it as much as I wanted to love it. So these next two, please no one murder me in the comments, okay? We all like different things and we don't have to be, we don't have to like the same things. So this is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. So I know everyone's like, oh my god, how could you not love that? I did read it, and at the time I liked it, and I've largely forgotten everything about it. I think the main character's name is Will. Maybe? I don't know, it doesn't say on the back. But that is indicative of how much I liked the book, so just is not for me. So if this is for you, then congrats. And be really happy that some Japanese school children might pick this up. Although it will be very hard for them to read because some of it has British English, and here they learn North American English, I believe. But wish them luck in attempting it, so yeah. And the last one is the book that I had been dreading reading all year because I did not want to be let down, because I had hyped it so much in my mind I really wanted to love it, and it is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. So this one I found was like alright. So a lot of the elements were so imaginative, and like super props to Laini Taylor for just the sheer amount of imagination power that is in this book. However, this book is, if you are plotting a story, you know how there's a big mountain and the top is like the climax and then the falling action, rising action. This book ends at the top of the climax, essentially. So this is kind of only a half book, a half-formed story. And that really pissed me off, actually, that it didn't even solve the problem and leave you on a cliffhanger. It just never solved the problem. It was just like, I know that I am a Laini Taylor book and I know that people are going to read it, so I'm not going to bother giving you an ending. I'm just going to leave it completely open. Here you go. And then we all bought it and we all liked it, and yeah. But I also had a problem with some of the plot development and the speed of the plot. So if you are going to drag a book out really long, then it all needs to be equal pacing. But I found the beginning was so slow and then the end was just so fast, and a lot of the elements, like the development between romantic pairings, was a little too fast for me to find it believable, if that makes sense. So I will probably read the next one, but it's not a book that I need to have on my shelf as like I love this book and I want to keep it forever. So yes, that finishes up my You're Not Good Enough to Come With Me to Australia list. If you like these unhauls, I have a whole series of them down below and also on my page. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. That would be really awesome. And just keep in mind, we all like different books. I don't have to like the same books you like. You don't have to like the same books I like. And we can all live in a happy bookish world together. So yeah, without further ado, I hope that you are having a most lovely of days, and I will chat to you later. Toodles! Bye!